What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Town Biz because he's the first one I saw talking about this particular subject matter. All right. So if you're not subscribed to Town Biz, please subscribe to his channel. All right. That's Town Biz Sports and Entertainment Media. Now, it was last week that the San Francisco 49ers upset the Green Bay Packers 13-10. And the victory came largely on the heels of their defense and their special teams. And they won in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo, who did not play well. He's one of the worst starting quarterbacks, if not the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. It's the truth. He's not very good. And there's some people who speculate that his mediocre play will ultimately be the demise of the San Francisco 49ers. And we'll have to wait and see if that comes to pass. Now, the controversy rests on something that was started by sports journalist Mina, the woman you see here on the right of your screen. Well, she akined Garoppolo's performance on the 49ers, who as a whole are a great team, largely because of the special teams and the defense, but not Garoppolo's play. She equated it to that one person being part of a group project, like you're in school and they assign 4 or 5 of you to a group project, and of the 5 people, 4 of them are doing magnificent work, but there's that one slacker who's not doing much of anything, but because he's part of the group project, he gets an A. So that's what she akin Jimmy Garoppolo to, is that one guy in the group project that's doing nothing but gets an A. And then this is the thing. Jimmy Jimmy Garoppolo is not the best quarterback in the world, but to say he's doing nothing, I can find how that's offensive to an athlete. That can be very offensive. And I can understand why Jeff Garcia reacted the way he did, because Jeff was never the best quarterback. He was better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but he was never the best quarterback, and he got criticized for his performances either with the 49ers or with the Eagles, right? Now, Jeff Garcia, I'm Jerry Garcia, showing my age there. Jeff Garcia did not seek out Mina, right? This was sent to him on Instagram, what she said. Like I said, Jeff Garcia can empathize with Jimmy, so he said, well, a lot of athletes say about sports journalists who don't have any sports background. She never played the game. So how can you sit up there and be so critical of an athlete when you've never been in this situation before, right? So magically, when he said this, which is something that athletes have said about journalists millions of fucking times, magically it became an issue with, well, he only said it because she's a woman. And even some who said, well, she only said it because, she's Asian American. It's racist. It's racist. It's funny to me. It's funny how, even though I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, I can't stand that motherfucker. But it's funny how when he said what he said about Shohei Ohtani, that magically became racist, right? No critical thinking at all. This situation magically has become racist, right? He needs to apologize. So many different instances where someone says something that's critiquing an aspect or a characteristic of someone who happen to be a woman, magically it becomes, oh, you don't like her because she's a woman. But yeah, we gotta have fucking video footage. Uh, we gotta have serial code numbers. We gotta have about 100 witnesses. We gotta have goddamn Atticus Finch as a lawyer with his persuasions of goodness and honesty. We gotta have a fucking a progressive judge, a jury of 9 fucking African Americans and 1 white liberal. You know, so we gotta have everything in our favor just to have someone say, you know what, maybe it is racism when it pertains to a black person and a white person. But right here, magically, it's bullshit. LeBron James goes on Instagram and, you know what I'm saying, writes a lyric from a song that he likes, and all of a sudden he's branded it an anti-Semite. And shit like that. Anyway, let me get to the point. Have you ever noticed how feminazis, and yes, I said feminazis. I'm not talking about normal feminists. There's nothing wrong with the old school Alan Alda feminist movement. I agree with that. Women should be equal 100%. But there's this perverted version of feminists, the feminazis. Have you noticed they make everything about them? Have you noticed that? They make everything about them. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. This situation, like I said before, how many times have athletes, Chris Carter to whether it's Nick Wright or whether it's a Jalen Rose to a Skip Bayless or, you know, someone to a Stephen A. Smith, how many times have we seen athletes who have transitioned into broadcast tell someone who is an analyst but they never played sports on a serious level, I think you're being unfair because you never played the game. You've never been on the court. You've never been on the field. You've never been in that ring. So unless you be in that ring, how many times we seen George Foreman tell it to Larry Merchant, right? He didn't say, "Oh, George, I think you're only saying that because I'm white." That's a victim mentality. You know what? You're only saying that because I'm black. But Stephen A, I'm black. But I'm a different color. I'm a different texture type of black. You are dark black. I think it's colorism. I mean, it's stupid. It's dumb. But they make a lot of these feminazis. They make everything about them because they want to be. They're so comfortable being in that in that element where they're always seen as if they're the victim. They love their perpetual victims. You know what I'm saying? How is it that you made a logic? How could logic dictate that Jeff Garcia is attacking her because A, she's Asian, and B, she's a woman? First of all, that was sent to him on Instagram, so he didn't even know what the fuck she looked like. So by the name, I guess you could assume she's a woman. But Jeff Garcia and all these other athletes, they've gone after journalists in general who are very harsh in their critiques about athletes, but they never played the game. I'll give you another example I'm talking about. I say like to co-opt everything and make it about themselves. Remember when Skip Bayless said about Mike McCarthy that one thing that he would respect about him if he was an athlete as a Dallas Cowboy is that Mike McCarthy is out of shape, right? Now we're talking about Mike McCarthy. What did Jenny do on the show? Jenny Taft, whatever her fucking name is, Jamie Taft. She made it about herself. Then she magically made it about women and body shaming. Did you notice that? You go, girl. Yeah, yeah, body shaming. Everything's now a fuck about you. He wasn't talking about you. Every fucking thing is about you, you, you. That's what irritates the fuck out of me about feminazi. You have Mother's Day assigned for all of the great mothers in the world out there. What the fuck do they do? The one goddamn day that all of the great fathers that are walking this earth, that are walking this country, get a shout out. Well, I'm a mother and a father. No, you're not. That's why we got all these fucking mixed up ass, feminine energy ass men walking around here now. That irritates me, man. Everything is about fucking them. Everything is they're a victim with every fucking thing. Anybody with a brain knows what Jeff Garcia was talking about.